Hey guys, this is amazing. I just got out of the movie panel to share with you everything that was in that. It was so amazing and special. First of all, the gifts were an Onward poster, a Frozen 2 poster, and a Rise of the Skywalker um, Lucasfilm's Star Wars poster. Um, was like more amazing than the previous because the panels were separated. For animation, we got Coco. But anyhow, right on to what was important. We first started with Lucasfilm, and of course, we talked about Rise of Skywalker, and we saw the cast come up on stage, Kerry Russell included. We saw Ray, we saw Finn, we saw the other guy Poe, um, and we saw even BB-8 come on with R2 with C3PO, and so they showed us clips from the movie exclusively, new clips, and we see with a lightsaber, and I don't know, she seemed a little bit like she was a bit on the dark side. I don't know, but towards the end, it's supposed to be a very epic conclusion to the 40-year-old saga, and I mean it's a lot to me because actually, I was born 5 days around before the first movie release, so this is such an amazing conclusion. So yeah, so moving on from that, we went to Marvel. If I can remember right, it was Black Widow that we saw lots of clips about. She meets her sister, and what else? Filming right now in London, wrapping it up. We also what is in Marvel? I don't remember Marvel so well. So if I remember, I'll come back to it. But in any case, we move on after that to Disney live animation, and of course we started with Jungle Cruise. We saw Dwayne, Emily Blunt. Well, Dwayne came in this big ship that moved across the whole stage. It was amazing. Blunt, of course, came out in a Jeep, and they both put their own trailers to compete with each other, but featuring their own characters and having the other person's name really small in the trailer. They have such good chemistry. I'm really excited to see what Jungle Cruise is going to bring to the theaters because, she's searching for this plant, and he has sort of a bogus, worrying sort of a ship, the skippers do, company. So we'll see what to. And then, of course, they'll Cruella. They brought models, so many people. Angelina Jolie was up there too, and that was really exciting. And so back to Cruella. So they showed a clip of Emma Thompson. No, Emily, no, Emma Stone. And Emma Thompson are going to be in Cruella. They showed a clip of Emma Stone as Cruella. She had like curly hair, black and white, of course, and a really nice like black sort of suit with the dogs in front, and so that was really special. Cruella, of course, I didn't mention it, but it is being delayed. Um, and then live action wise, also featured. What else is to come? Mulan. As an Asian, I mean, it's really colorful, the costume, so it's not authentic, but they were all Chinese actresses, and they showed us a scene where she was sort of pouring and preparing tea to be tested if she was a good enough wife, and of course, stuff happens, kind of like there's a spider that comes into this ceremony that she's performing, and of course all hell breaks loose, and she kind of saves the day with her kung fu skills, but because of her hair coming into her face, she kind of drops all the plates and she fails her daughter, and then we see her father being taken to go to serve to fight, and it's like pretty poetic because the fact that the girly stuff is in the way of her making a mistake, whereas she would actually have been a great warrior if not for the hair, right? So she's maybe meant to be a warrior. Also, I saw a clip of Jason Scott Lee. Nobody recognized him, I think, but I'm a big fan, and he's also part of Disney history. He was Mowgli in the Jungle Book, and so I gave a nice yell out for that. It also seems like in this panel, a lot of people double up. Tom Holland's, doing Onward, and he's also Spider-Man, of course. He did say, it's been a crazy week for him, and Love You 3000. I don't know what's happening. And, I mean, Disney, Marvel, Sony are fighting over the rights. They want a 50-50. Disney won, but then Sony still wants a huge percentage of the profits from this IP. In any case, so back to live action, what else did we see? So we've seen Mulan, we've seen Cruella, Jungle Cruise as well. So I think those were the three they talked about. And then moving on to Pixar, it was on Soul first. This interesting little concept about how we're in you go to this sort of like a school for souls before you become a human being. So this guy actually goes to Earth, and then he sort of in a bad position. He's like a teacher of. So anything, Gemma, just let me know. But it seems like it's not recording, is it? I don't know. I'm gonna continue talking. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, my stream's interrupted. I'm not sure where I was cut off. I see Gemma online. Hi. Feel free to ask anything you want right now. So we're talking about like let's go back a little bit. So live action, we see Cruella, Jungle Cruise, and where am I? And Maleficent as well. Those were the three we saw. Angelina Jolie came on. And then we move on to the Eternals was what was for Marvel, and Black Widow, and then we move on to Pixar, which is Soul and Onward. So we're talking about Soul, where they and Onward. So we're talking about Soul, where they delve into something whereby you sort of kind of before you're born, you actually a soul go to school to develop a personality, and that's a career where he's not happy. Teacher job, the job of his life. Goes back to the place, and he meets another soul played by Tina Fey, who want to go back, right? And so that happens, and we'll see what happens if he finds his way back. And of course, the next thing after that is Onward. It's a very exciting thing about two lads like Tom Holland, who were also at the panel, and they just want to meet their father. Hey Pablo, they want to meet their father, so they kind for their 16th or 18th birthday. I mean, one of them is able to cast a spell to bring. So this was an 8-minute clip that they showed. This quest to bring the rest of their father back and spend a day with him. So that was Onward. So that covers Onward and Soul, which was the Pixar panel, and on to the Disney animation panel. You know, they've not talked about new things coming up. I mean, like Frozen 2 was the conclusion of this panel, but before that they talked about this new animation next year, 2020, and then nothing else after that. So still pretty secret what they have. But this got me really excited. This 20 animation is an original. It's called Raya and the Last Dragon, and it's based on different countries in Southeast Asia, Indonesia, and Thailand. And it's the realm that they're basing it. I mean, the realm which they created is also based on different countries in Southeast Asia that exist in this one realm, and they're finding the last dragon so that they can save this realm. And Awkwafina plays the dragon. And I was just so thrilled that this was written by a Southeast Asian girl, the girl who wrote Crazy Rich Asians. Awkwafina, of course, was from Crazy Rich Asians, so she's in this as well. And you got to see the character art. It's amazing. She looks like Awkwafina. It's amazing and so funny. What happens in this? Well, that's pretty much it. And then we move on to Frozen 2, which I think would be better than Frozen 1 because it explores, they say Frozen 1 and 2 are going to be a complete story because it explores Elsa's past, why the parents left, and they have this lullaby which they sing. And in the lyrics, it says where the north wind meets the sea is where these memories lie and everything can be found. So I think the answers lie in that place, which is why we see in the clip where she's bringing on that wave. It's probably where the north meets the sea. And the cast came on, Idina Menzel, Jonathan Groff, and all these leaves started falling on the ceiling. It's amazing. Also, they played an Elsa song called Into the Unknown. I think it's what it's called because that was what was repeated the whole time. It's a nice song with a secret siren calling. So there's this voice that's talking to her and calling Elsa, that is. So there's one more other solo song which they couldn't play because they said it would reveal too much. but you know, she has another song, and I think that would be the Let It Go anthem, because this Siren one is nice, but it's not like as catchy. It's more internal and more rooted. So that was pretty much it. I'm just gonna show you the leaves that are falling from the sky. I think I have them anymore. Oh yeah, here they are. So the sky, and it was pretty fun. We got 3 posters, so that was pretty awesome. All right, so and feel free to ask questions in the comments, and I hope you like this really exclusive update, really as fast as I could, but I'm sure you'll get news